where we did the final Papa Circuit final, and which is transitioning to the Stern Circuit final. We'll talk more about that. Um, I'm here in the booth, joined by Elizabeth Cromwell. Good evening, Elizabeth.
Hi, John.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, just peachy. I'm also here with a brand new announcer, live all the way from England. We brought him in, Dan Hall.
Hello, John.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. I'm here sitting in front of a microphone and not fixing games right now, which is very strange for me.
Get back to work.
So
Sorry.
you fix games?
I do. That's, in fact, pretty much all I do.
So why is Timeline still broken?
Because you broke it, Elizabeth.
Yeah, I've given you 6 solid hours to fix it. So why is it still broken?
Well, Elizabeth, we have 500 other games for me to fix.
Oh.
But only one of them's my favorite.
That's true.
I thought that was Derby Day.
It's sitting right next to Derby Day.
Derby Day is also broken.
We're making a bank of Elizabeth's favorite games, and I'm breaking them one by one, and then I'm gonna make Dan fix them.
So your favorite games are broken games?
I play them until I break them. Yes.
Fair enough.
This is
So
known as job security, folks.
nothing wrong with job security. So Elizabeth, we got to go to Chicago. We got to run that event. I love getting back to Chicago. I enjoy visiting the city. I don't know if I want to live there, but I mean, what was your impressions of the event?
The event was great. It's I really liked Bottom Lounge. It was nice change of pace. If you're gonna not have it at Papa, it was a good venue to have it at. I hate driving across Ohio. It's the most boring drive between Pittsburgh and Chicago.
It's so
just
flat.
Yes, it's
I mean,
dull.
I don't want to. I don't want to say that the state of Ohio is boring.
It is. I mean, you can say that. I will say
I'd
that.
like to apologize to everybody out there in Ohio, but it's true. She's right. Yeah, but I mean, once we were there, it was really fun.
Yeah.
I got to hang out downtown. I got to wake up really early in the morning and get blinded by the Trump Tower because the sun was shining right off of that into my eyes. Fred and I got to carry a lot of heavy stuff a lot of times.
That was lots of fun.
Yeah, drive a big truck.
That was the easy part. Carrying the stands and the TVs up and down, two flights of metal steps was lots of fun. So, but it turned out really well.
You the man, Fred. That's all I got to say.
You're the
You
man, John. You're the man.
So while me and Fred pat each other on the back, Dan, Elizabeth, you wanted to ask Dan a couple questions about and sort of get the viewers acquainted with what he does.
So, Dan, you are a tech here at
That's
Papa.
right.
How long have you been working here for us?
I don't know, Elizabeth. 2-3 years, something like that.
So, you are originally from England,
I am, yes.
and you live here
I live right here in Pittsburgh as
How-
of about 10 years ago.
about 10 years. Wow.
Coming up there, yeah.
Bad spectators.
Lost World is not one of Elizabeth's favorite games.
It is not. It is not in the bank of broken Elizabeth games. So, what I really want to talk about is you and Eitan, who just came in right behind you there.
Oh, hello, Aiton.
You guys have started what I can only describe as like the Replay Foundation certified tech classes.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about this, and tell me a little bit about how you guys came about it and how in depth you're getting with it.
Oh, well, it started as just basically a little class to teach people how to tech games, and it's grown to ridiculous proportions. It's kind of gotten away from us. We now have apprentice technicians running around during the events and helping to fix games and watching us fix games and vice versa. We watch what they do, they watch what we do. We instruct them on what to do when. I'm rambling a little bit.
So you had one of those apprentices down in Louisville, Brinkley,
I
right?
did, yeah. And she did amazingly well. She managed to keep a very cool head in the face of having hundreds of people watch you fix games, which is very, very different from fixing games in your basement.
Right.
In your basement, you take your time. At an event, you have everybody watching you.
And in Louisville, like 2 minutes after the tournament started, Flintstones broke a flipper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And you and Brinkley were immediately on it, which was great.
Yeah, it was Attacking during events is long periods of boredom followed by occasional moments of extreme panic.
Yeah. So with the games here at Papa, we have everything. We have from wood rails up to the newest games. So I imagine that I've never teched, but I imagine that there's a huge difference in what you need to know to go between those different eras. And of course, in Pinball, we use literally all of them.
Yeah, it is quite a challenge, but the thing you must remember about pinball machines is that they all work in more or less the same way. They all have coils, they all have switches. It doesn't matter whether you're working on a game from 1950s or a game made last year. It's always going to have some coils to propel the ball around and some switches to tell it when to do so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So where do you have like a goal? Or do you see some of this like going somewhere beyond this? Can people come and take these classes? You guys videotaped them, right?
We did, and in fact you can find a couple of the classes online on YouTube right now. Under Pittsburgh Pinball Tech class, I believe, John, is that right?
Oh, I don't know where, but you can find it.
Including one of yours, I believe, John.
It's a secret.
It's not one you want to watch. I screw up talking about the bands on diodes for quite a while, and then I have to go back and do it all over again because I screwed it up. So.
Well, maybe we'll maybe after Pinburg, that's something we can look at. And maybe getting together some sort of maybe something a little more official going.
That'd be nice. The first couple of videos are really rough. I remember my first class on power supplies. Someone asked me how to spell Firista. I spelled it wrong. And then they asked me again, certain that I had spelled it wrong, and I spelled it wrong again in a even more ridiculous way.
Well,
that's actually something that we do here a lot because James spelled enthusiast wrong about 18 times during Evan's broadcast. So it's contagious.
So speaking of enthusiast, I'm an enthusiast for a particular band that they made into a pinball machine a few years ago, and that game is Metallica. I'm a big fan of it, and I don't know. There's not much to say. We've done other videos on Metallica. We've shown a lot of stuff. So Fred, why don't you go ahead and fire it up, and let's get this party started. What song are you gonna choose, Fred?
I'm not gonna pick Enter Sandman. No Enter Sandman ever.
Is that a rule? Can no one pick it?
No, I don't pick it because that was the end of good Metallica into morphing into bad Metallica, in my opinion. But
so are you only gonna pick bad Metallica songs?
No, I'm gonna pick For Whom the Bell Tolls.
All right, go ahead. For Whom the Bell Tolls. All right, so Metallica.
Hey, Dan, do they have Metallica in Britain, or do they just not give you good things over there?
No, we get nothing good in England. We just get and pasties.
And there is that.
So Fred picked the wrong song, and now he has 780,000 points. So apparently For Whom the Bell Tolls was the wrong song. All right, so Metallica. What can we say about Metallica? We can say that there are multiple multi-balls, and that's also one of our keys to the game. Master of multi-balls. What are the three multi-balls?
There's four. There's four multi-balls.
Four?
Yeah.
That there is.
There's the coffin, the snake, the chair, if you hit Sparky a bunch, and the grave markers, which I am not a fan of hitting because that never works out well for me.
Well, yeah, the thing about the grave markers multi-balls, you have to do all the grave markers you're going to get on the same ball. You do get to keep progress, but you still always have to drop those first three grave markers no matter what.
Yeah.
Stepping up to the plate, Mr. Pete Hendricks.
How many times do you have to hit the snake to get multi-ball?
You have to hit the snake 5 times, but you must relight the snake in between each time you hit it.
That makes no sense to me.
Okay. Then let me try to explain it better.
Yeah.
So, on the top of the snake, which is in the middle of the playfield, to the right of the captive ball, there is a little green flashing light on top of that snake. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. And thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
That light is one that indicates the snake is available and lit. So if Chris hits the snake right now, he'll collect a letter of snake. So you have to collect each letter of snake. So it's actually 5 times plus 1. But then you have to relight the snake before you can get the next letter.
So you have to hit him once and then light it again and then hit him another time and hit him, then light him again.
So after you hit the snake, it will light up 3 snake targets on the playfield.
I getcha. Okay.
And those snake targets are the amber colored inserts,
Now I getcha.
and that corresponds with the shot on the playfield.
John, am I right in believing that these multi-balls can be all stacked together?
The only one that can be stacked with all the others is the Coffin multi-ball. The Coffin multi-ball can be stacked with any one of the other 3s, but the other 3 actually, whenever you start one of those, it ends a stack.
So how do you get the coffin?
Okay, so you get the coffin by pounding on that captive ball, which is above the coffin insert, which Fred just glanced into, but not hard enough to count.
God!
And Fred realizes now that he still has chosen the wrong song. What does your shirt say, Brian? It says I used to be over.
It says I used to be over, yeah.
What's that even mean?
No. Existential crisis Tessier today.
That sounds right.
So Brian did something really interesting there. He did a super skill shot, and he didn't do anything. And it went into a hole, and he got lots of points. That was pretty cool. That's something you can do sometimes.
Existential crisis Metallica today.
So it seems like most players are going for hitting Sparky in the beginning, trying to get to the
See what happens when you get any-
chair multi-ball, the electric chair multi-ball.
Now, every time you hit Sparky, it's got the magnet, right?
It will activate. It'll sort of pulse the magnet, which can throw it down the middle, or do nice things like throw it back up for another hit on Sparky. And whenever you're playing for fun and nothing's on the line, it throws it back up for another hit. Whenever you're playing in a tournament, it throws it directly down the middle at 100 miles per hour. Just rule of Metallica.
So that's an interesting question. Is the magnet? Dan can probably answer this. Is the magnet its own setting in Metallica?
You know what? I'm not so sure. I would imagine it probably would be. Yeah.
The magnet is its own setting. What do you
Yeah,
mean by
so like
that?
when you go through the settings, you can make things easier or harder. You can turn tournament play on or off. Is the level of difficulty of the magnet something that you can toggle?
I don't think so.
Well, I guess you could cut the wires to it.
Well, I mean, MacGyver, that's something that's beyond what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like an actual...
Could we put a big block in that magnet?
A big block.
A big... Oh, my gosh. You don't know Tim Allen jokes, do you?
No.
So...
No, I lack this cultural context.
You're not missing anything.
Okay.
So now
Very nice.
you're going to have to go watch some Home Improvement. That's Chris, the 5-time PPL champion. Chris, is there anybody in the world who could ever have more championships than you?
There is, John.
That's good.
But I already took him down in the semifinals.
That is also true. I played well in that semifinal round.
You did.
So what will Chris be aiming here for, John?
So the first thing whenever I get into one of the multi-balls is I want to set up my add-a-ball. And to get the add-a-ball, you have to get the 4 guitar picks lit, at which time the snake will be lit for 2 times scoring for 20 seconds. It'll hold the ball for 20 seconds, and it'll also add a ball to your play.
Wow. Now this is a 4-ball game, correct?
Right. 4 balls maximum, so you can never have more than that in play. So you would never want to add a ball if you already had 4 balls in play. Oh, a little bit of a flub there.
So one of our keys to the game, John, were to collect the items and do crank it up. So why don't you explain that while he's in multi-ball? That seems like a good time that you could do one or both of those things.
Okay, so, well, in order to tell your progress, you can check your status report on Metallica, which I think Chris is about to do right now, and he's going to say, that shows you your progress towards multi-balls, Snake. Here's the items for Crank It Up, right there. So it's he needs 11 more, and that's going to be rough. You can also tell there's 4 rectangular inserts right above the guitar picks, right above the flippers. And one of those is lit. That means he's acquired enough items to crank it up for that particular item, which happens to be electric chair hits. So you can see that insert is already lit.
Okay.
The other ones he still needs to collect. Once you get all those items, it lights a little blue light on the right mystery scoop, and that is lit for Crank It Up. And then we'll see Crank It Up some point tonight, and we can talk about
Maybe.
what that mode does. Oh, we're going to see at some point. I guarantee it, even if I have to do it myself. So items are important. Now, the other way you get items in this game, you can hit the shot. So let's talk about what the items are. I guess that's sort of important. There are grave markers. It's the same items as what we were talking about earlier. It's the same items that correspond with those multi-balls.
The coffin, the snake, the chairs, the grave marker.
Thank you. I was having trouble putting that together in my mind and spitting it out.
I wrote it down right here for you.
I know, but I still couldn't do it. I was like, I have lost the ability to read. Whenever you hit one of those shots, except for the coffin, it lights a corresponding insert. So if, let's say Fred were to actually hit either the snake or
anything.
Never
mind, John.
Fred's struggling. All right, now let's see Brian come back and beat Fred.
Yeah, no problem there.
Super skill.
Oh, it didn't go in.
Nope.
But it did go out. So the final key to the game is the four horsemen. Fuel, snake, blow up, scoring. That's the 3 keys to the game. So you want to get items, be the master of multi-balls, and have the 4 horsemen. Oh
Nice.
my goodness. It wanted you to have that multi-ball, Brian.
I think it did.
It wanted it.
Totally.
Brian Tessier is now a heel. Oh my goodness.
Inevitable.
Everybody makes their progression to dark side. Even Al the plumber. So, Dan, do you have professional wrestling in England?
We get it imported from the US. We don't do really anything for ourselves in the UK.
I mean,
That is not true. You gave us Monty Python.
Oh my gosh!
You gave
yes.
us Eddie Izzard.
Monty Python's coming to Netflix pretty soon.
The original show?
Yeah.
Oh,
Apparently.
nice. I just pull out my Blu-rays or my DVDs and watch them there.
Gave us Harry Potter
Yeah, Harry
Yes.
Potter
and James Bond.
and Lewis Carroll.
Gosh, I like England.
Yeah. Tea.
Better
Tea
than
is
Ohio,
fantastic.
right?
Very
Oh
nice.
God, yes.
Sorry, Ohio. I didn't mean it. I really didn't.
Dan, what's your favorite era of game to work on?
My favourite era of game to work on is probably the Williams ones where they were doing the same split level playfield for every single game.
Like
because it worked really well.
like Haunted House, like that level.
More like
Oh, you're thinking
Solar Fire.
Pharaoh.
Ah.
Yeah, Pharaoh, Solar Fire, Jungle Lord, Black Knight. That whole series of if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
What's your favorite one of those?
Probably Solar Fire. I love that game.
Nicely
so much
done,
going
Frenchie. Nice.
And
So-
how about yourself, Elizabeth?
I don't work on games. I know we established that earlier in this conversation.
Well, what's your favourite era of game to play?
Oh, I don't know. Anything that I can play and break that annoys you and Steve Eckert. probably.
That's pretty much
So-
all of them.
Yeah, so Gottlieb System 80s.
Oh, yes.
Derby Day, which has that back box that you are literally the only person in the state of Pennsylvania that knows how to get into.
Oh, that is an awesome game.
Yes.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
so many chains and clutches and clickety-clackety things.
You actually got in there once, and oh, Pete.
Oh, the West Virginia state champion was beaten by Fred.
Yeah, you managed to get into the back box of Derby Day once, Dan, and took some pictures and put them on Facebook. They were fantastic because nobody has ever seen the inside of that game before.
I remember having to say to people exactly what they were looking at here.
Yeah.
So I see in the chat room that Elizabeth dialed in has a magnet strength setting,
Oh.
but
Nice.
they're not thinking that Metallica has that same option.
Thank you for answering that for me. I really appreciate that, guys. See, you don't need to cut the wires, Dan.
Can't I cut the wires anyway?
Not on our games, but if you were to buy one of your own, yes, absolutely.
I will do.
Wow, that was like the 3-time Spider-Man trap in a row.
My first season in the PPL, I had the misfortune of playing, like, week 1, week 2, playing CDs on Spider-Man, and I nearly quit pinball entirely.
He can be quite intimidating at that game.
Like, yeah.
I swear to God.
It's one of my
like,
go-tos.
ugh. It was like game 2, and it took 45 minutes.
I've watched Chris put up some sad but true scores
Exactly.
on Metallica. Did you like how I did that? That's right. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Well, it's okay, John, because after this past PPL, I'm number 1.
You're number 1? Oh, I guess he is.
You made Sad John sad.
Oh
I
my
saw it.
goodness.
I
I
saw
saw
it.
that coming
I
too.
saw
That
it.
was on its way out.
So, Dan, you've worked on a bunch of games around here. Do you have a favorite game that you've played in here yet?
A favourite game I've played? Probably Solar Fire. I just keep
You
going
were
back
just
to
a
that game.
one-track pony.
Wow. I mean, it's like me in Super Orbit.
Oh, that's
Super
a cool
Orbit's
one too.
great.
Oh,
I
hello.
love that game.
And Jake almost committed the cardinal sin of pinball. And what's the? Do you know what the cardinal sin of pinball is, Dan?
Walking away.
Walking away.
That's right. Never walk away until that bonus is counted.
I have to tell you, there was a, I believe it was Eric DeStasio, and I apologize if I got that wrong, but made the comment at Circuit Final last weekend that every single player, no matter their skill level, no matter if it was who it was, every single one of them walked away from Catacomb. Every single one of them forgetting that they had to play that Bagatelle game up in the back box.
Mhm.
You drained the ball, you got mad, you're just like, you ejected, and you walked away. And you're like, oh, wait, I've got points left on the board.
Now, the interesting thing is Jake almost walked away from getting to a multi-ball. Some beautiful live catch worked, and he thought it was all over. But now it's only just begun. The magic is here.
You need to stop with that, Sean.
Oh, come on. I can't. This is part of my persona. I make bad puns. Nice flip. So now he has his Add-A-Ball lit. And he also has a super jackpot lit. Oh, that was a beautiful save. He
Nice.
dropped his flipper, jailbroke just to save the ball. That was really nice.
Now, where is the super jackpot lit, John?
It was.
Oh, was that it?
That was it.
There it was.
And he's also got his Add-A-Ball, just a little bit out of the wrong order,
Ooh,
but it doesn't
nice.
matter. He's got a ball save, and he's using that to bang jackpots and get coffin hits. Nice. That ball's coming back. That one might. Oh my goodness, they're all going out there. Let's see how many come back. And he's got another 2 times playfield multiplier going. And now he's got a 2 times fuel multiplier going. That was a 4 times. Oh no, it wasn't. It looked like it was going to be a 4 times super jackpot.
There's the replay.
There's the other multiplier. Jake is hitting shots and making people mad. Jake is saying that he can also beat Fred. That was 33 million points from one multi-ball. That's a good
Nicely
multi-ball.
done, Jake.
So you also notice that there's 2 shots that are now blinking on the playfield. Whenever you have those shots blinking, it's when you hit it, it's going to light a hurry up on the captive ball. And that shot hurry up can be increased by hitting the other blinking shots.
What song did you pick, Jake? Jake, what song?
What's that? I don't even help me out.
Don't even know what song you picked.
So,
but it was better than whatever song Fred picked before or is going to pick now.
Doug is actually changing the settings right here to make it easy for me.
I don't think you could change enough settings.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm really getting it tonight. I love it. Ball save time, an hour.
Just so the chat knows, I love Fred. We've spent way too much time with each other in the past week, so we've been giving it to each other pretty good. But it's all fun and games. We're just
Sad
having a good
but
time.
true.
All right, no. Here's the song we're going to play.
Yep.
No, wait a minute. Where's it at? There it is.
Watch him fail miserably.
And there's a question in the chat, and actually I want to direct this to either one of you. Elizabeth, you as a tournament director, and Dan, you as a tech. What do you guys do to this game to make it play harder? And why would you choose to do that?
Oh, wonderfully sadistic things. We widen the outlanes, we wax them the night before the tournaments, we make sure every mechanism is in perfect working order and running smoothly, and it makes it so fast.
Now, I've gone to the Doug Polka School of Tournament Directing, so you pull out the posts, you take the rubbers off of them, you put zipper flippers on them if you can. Josh Sharp last weekend, Doug said, do you like how I've bastardized these games? And Josh said, I would say you've stripped them for parts.
Wow.
Yes.
Josh usually doesn't... Josh is usually, because Josh, being a tournament director himself, he gets to take a lot of flack, so to speak, from people about that. So I'm actually surprised to hear him complain about that.
I don't think he was complaining so much as just pointing out a fact.
Well, we did need some more parts. So,
Yeah.
you know, we always need more parts. And lasers.
Also, it's really important to listen to your playtesters. And if you yourself as a player, or if the people that you have playtesting it think that it's too easy, with Pinburg we do fight clubs, and one of the things that we test that's really, really important is the game times. So if a game is taking too long, like if a game of Metallica is playing too long, you don't want that to happen in Pinburg, because you get 4 A bank players on a game of Metallica. It will go for 4 hours.
What is
so
too long?
Well, in Pinburg, we have every round set to run 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay.
So if you have John Replogel, Zach and Josh Sharp, and Keith Elwin playing a game of Metallica,
John's going to lose.
We're going to be there for 6 hours. So you are going to do everything that you can to... Evan Bookbinder. You are going to do everything you can to make that game play faster. So, like Dan said, you're going to wax it. You're going to change the pitch a little bit. You're going to pull out any safety that would make it make the ball easier to save, like the posts. You're going to take the rubbers off of them. You're going to change the ball save to be non-existent. You're going to do whatever you can to make that game play faster or be meaner.
Tightening up the slingshots is a favourite of mine.
Yeah.
And the flippers especially, because you can do all these things like taking the rubbers off the side posts, but tightening up the flippers, making those flip really, really hard, causes the ball to travel that much faster and gives the player enough rope to hang themselves. So it always feels fair.
Yeah. You never want it to feel unfair, but you definitely want it to feel hard.
Yeah.
You don't want this to be a cakewalk, especially when there's good hardware on the line or money or just honor and glory.
So, sort of an interesting comment in chat, and I was debating whether I should read it or not. The comment is, Papa should invite a random YouTube subscriber once in a while to come and play. It's a shame to see some awesome pins hoarded between a guy with keys and his buddies. Just saying. Let me actually make a offer to you. I mean, there's nothing we need more than more people to help us with the pinball projects that we have. Please come volunteer for an event at Replay FX, and I will personally come down here and open up the door so you can play a couple games of pinball.
Also, Fight Club is open.
That's true. Fight Club is a open tournament and open to the public.
Thursday and Sundays.
So, and then that's where what Fight Club is, we test the games for the Pinball Bank. Again, we have so many games. We need to get people playing them, and we can't just have the techs doing it. So we actually run tournaments.
They're mini tournaments. Not every game is available. They're short match play, but they're open. You can come down. You can play something.
It is vitally important that the games get tested by people who aren't techs, because techs play differently than most players.
Yeah.
Techs play differently?
Yeah, we play with an eye to breaking the games. As hard as we possibly can.
Unless you're me and you're playing Timeline for fun, and then you just break it because you didn't mean to, but you're going to make Dan fix it as soon as humanly possible.
Oh, it broke itself. It's a System 80. That's what they do.
Yep.
So Evan is forecasting that he's about to hit a captive ball. Boom. My weather forecasting for Evan's ball was it's going to be clear and short. I am 100% accurate with my weather forecast so far. Evan doesn't like me very much anymore. Sorry, Evan. Chris is frowning at the game.
Yeah, my weather's cloudy with a chance of third place.
Well, you can, you still got Fred.
There is some sunshine in there. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So in just a minute, we're going to be tagging in our second group of broadcasters, and they're going to free us up to go drink beer, play pinball, or whatever else we feel like doing. But it's been nice getting you on the microphone, Dan. I enjoyed hearing your awesome British. Dan, I got to stop saying it. But can you do a BBC broadcast for me?
Oh. Good evening and welcome to BBC Radio 4. Over the next 3/4 of an hour, we'll be doing an hour-long special on the history of rice. But before that, here's the shipping forecast.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. Elizabeth, it's great to get on the microphone and talk with you. I know she'd respond, but she's laughing hysterically right now. She enjoyed BBC a lot.
Oh, yeah. It's been great to talk to you, Dan, to both of you. And I just want to throw something out here, which is happy anniversary to Greg and Nicole.
Oh, happy anniversary, guys.
Happy anniversary.
All right, so I'm tagging out first, and Pete Hendricks is going to sit in for me.
Okay.
Take care, everybody at Papa. I'll go play some pinball.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi, Pete. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm okay.
See, if my broadcast lasts as long as my game did, I'll be done before Jake's ball's over.
No, you're going to sit here for a while longer.
Let the real players play.
Well, no, we are still letting Fred play, right?
You have a point there.
Man, Jake is just going for all of the multi-balls here.
Jake seems to be like a very streaky player. He'll get on a roll, and he'll play great for a long time, and then he can also get in ruts. He had a great performance this weekend at the PPL finals, making it to the final 8. I guess like every player in any activity, it's easy to get on rolls and everything goes right for you, and then get into slumps.
And Dan Hall has left us, and we've got Brian Tessier over here now.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This game is playing exceptionally brutal tonight. At least for me it was. This game seems to be going pretty well for everybody so far.
Lucky break there, starting the multi-ball as the ball was draining, so he'll get that back. This is his second electric chair.
Yeah, he started off right at ball 1, going right for it and getting it. So
Should be able to use this multi-ball to finish up the last couple of items and have Crank It Up lit coming out of it. We'll get to see that for the first time tonight, hopefully.
see he's got 2 set of solid lights there at least to help build that faster, unless he's just stuck on coffin hits at this point.
Wow.
So. Which may be a good idea for him at this point to start going for those.
When you're playing this game for fun, do you like starting a multi-ball and then just going after the captive ball to get the coffin?
Yeah.
It's such a risky strategy.
It is. It's fun, though.
Well, he'll have the Crank It Up lid on ball 3. Stepping out is Elizabeth Cromwell, and in her place, we now have Doug Polka joining the.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, good evening, Doug. We got some ballers this game compared to the first game, so actually something to talk about here.
No, not for me.
So I gave Fred a very long ball save, and it didn't really seem to be helping.
It didn't help. And I picked Sandman,
well,
which I wouldn't do.
That's terrible. You shouldn't do that.
He's won a tournament doing that before.
I shouldn't be playing pinball on camera. That's what I shouldn't be doing.
He once won a launch party playing Enter Sandman. After making fun of it for the past, 8 hours of the event, but
look at that.
I see that extra ball save. Yeah.
So the outlane posts on this game are in the middle hole. There's 3 different holes you can put them in to make it more or less difficult. And I played it earlier, and I didn't think it was all that brutal. Metallica's fast. This game is freshly shopped out with very sensitive slings, so that makes it a little bit more difficult than maybe the one you have on route near you.
It's like any other Stern game. You miss your shots and you'll pay.
But I was hoping somebody, one of our pinball superstars, trademark, take that Vince McMahon, would be able to get a hold of this game.
Jake is actually 1 shot away from starting to crank it up. So,
but it's the hardest shot in the game now. It's the one you need. Let's see what Fred can do here with his electric chair multi-ball. Just needs that target on the right to light his add ball, and he'll hit every ramp and every loop at this point.
I was struggling a little with that as well, Pete, on when I was playing earlier.
So it should be pointed out too that this is the pro version. That it is a little bit different than the premium or LE version. With the premium and LE have spinners, and they have a different lock for the coffin, which we haven't seen coffin multi-ball yet. And they also have a different snake mechanism where the jaw on the snake opens and closes. No real big scoring differences in the game as far as a strategic advantage one way or the other. I own the LE version of this title, but the Pro is just as good a game. Many people will say it's better because it doesn't have the giant hammer that tends to obstruct your view.
I hate that hammer. I mean, no offense. I love your Metallica. I was there when you got it, when you unboxed it. So, yeah, and just that hammer, man, it kills me. It's just right in the way.
You'll see so many on route with that hammer disabled, too. I don't know if it was just a tough toy to keep maintained? Or?
The lock is can get a little bit finicky. If you haven't seen it, if I can describe it, it's basically a magnet in front of where the captive balls are, near where the coffin insert is. And when it's ready to lock a ball, it will actually grab the ball that hits the captive ball, hold it there. The hammer will come down and basically, quote, push it into the play field. And then the coffin lock is actually clear, and you can actually physically see how many balls are locked. But it can be a little bit finicky for location play.
Fred shows you what happens when you don't get that flipper down in a timely fashion.
Fred actually finished, once we weren't talking about Fred's game, he actually had a decent ball.
He did. We'll have to rectify that for ball 3.
I mean, he's still going to be in third place, but...
So this is a game you frequently see used in tournaments. It's a pretty solid tournament game. It's a fast player. It can be an extremely quick and brutal game, which is why it is popular in Harb-style tournaments or tournaments where there's extended qualifying, because it tends to keep the lines down.
Yeah. That's a good skill to have.
And there's no one strategy to it. Players can choose whatever's best for them and still have a decent game.
Absolutely, Pete.
Evan benefiting from the long ball save there. Nice bounce right into the extra ball and mystery.
Yeah, Snake ate his ball.
So because we have this on default settings, that actually will award him an extra ball.
All right.
And his mystery award beat my whole game.
Yeah, that was double your game there, Pete.
And that's why you're sitting with us now, Pete. Losers have to talk.
We've got the second lock for Coffin.
I want to see a different
And
multi-ball.
crank it up.
Evan.
Yeah, most importantly, he is ready to crank it up.
Let's hit that crank it up.
One timer.
All right, 2-timer.
Oh,
Wait.
Get it, get it, get it.
3. No, he doesn't get a third chance this ball.
It will stay lit for ball 3,
It
though.
will.
He got the extra ball, too, so...
Oh, yeah, and he's got the extra ball, so he's going to get to get one more shot. There's a trick on some of these Metallicas.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. If you do that
there it
at the
is.
right speed.
If you do the super skill shot
But-
and leave your flipper down, on some of them, if they're set up a certain way, it'll actually bounce right into that mystery or
No.
crank it up scoop.
No, Evan made up his mind too quick and giving us a chance to see the songs. If Fred would have been there, he would have just taken the $5 million.
Crank it down.
Now he's chose For Whom the Bell Tolls. What's this one about, Brian?
This one is shoot all the shots multiple times. I'm pretty sure.
It's got one of the best animations, too.
It does,
of
like the spitting the missiles out or
of all
bombs.
the crank it up modes.
But I'm pretty sure you have to make each shot 4 times on that one, Pete.
This is a game, too, where it's not necessarily a bad thing to tilt away your bonus. Bonus doesn't tend to be super huge in this game. You can, of course, get a bigger bonus, but a lot of times, like Evan probably made the right decision there to try and save that ball and tilt away that bonus.
And Chris, a little flub there on the plunge.
I keep trying it, keep failing it.
That's all right, buddy. Gonna work toward that electric chair multi-ball, one of the 4 multi-balls in this game.
So someone in the chat, and Chris, maybe you can answer this for us. They said it's interesting to do something other than fade to black. Is fade to black a objectively better crank it up mode than everything else?
This one being a pro, you have no spinners. Personally, I'm a what's the one that Evan just picked? For Whom the Bell Tolls. I like that one being the best. I like being able to collect little bonuses as you progress on each shot. And even whenever you hit the mystery, whenever you have your mystery lit during your crank it up mode, you get a crank it up bonus and increases, you get basically you're given a shot and increases the value of your next shot, and you can even complete a column on your next shot. So you can really advance through your crank it up if you select For Whom the Bell Tolls just by collecting your mystery.
Got John doing air guitar in the background. Evan Bingham, can you make us a GIF of that, please?
I yearn for that gift.
You yearn for gifts.
It's gonna be a horrible gift because I'm gonna be like in the front, like completely oblivious.
Nobody cares about your great game of Metallica.
Yeah.
Hardly great.
We want to watch Trent kick chairs and John dance.
Well, G Money Dance is better than John.
So Chris has gone into his electric chair multi-ball, or Sparky
Yes.
multi-balls. Our Sparky kind of has a sideways head there.
He does look a little off kilter.
It's a side effect of being involved in tournament play.
After being electrocuted so many times, your head would go to the side too. At some point, he'll get ruddy eyes, and
I've seen some mods where people have had their Sparkies painted different ways, and some of them are really
I've seen
fantastic.
some pretty interesting custom mods as well, Doug, and
weren't
people can be creative.
weren't some of those done by Dirty Donnie himself, the paint jobs? Or
Maybe, I don't know.
He was offering some at one point, Pete. I do remember that he was offering custom Sparkies painted by the man
So here
himself.
Chris is about to go into the Grave Marker multi-ball, or the Master of Puppets multi-ball. What's the objective in this one, Pete?
shoot the grave markers, and then that'll light the grave marker shot. You put one in there, and it'll hold it, and then you put a second one in there for the super jackpot.
So the one kind of frustrating thing about this multi-ball is, especially,
Is that it's over that quick?
It's a 2-ball, first off.
I expected you to play a little bit longer,
Yeah,
but the
me
thing
too.
frustrating for me, because I'm a below-average player, is you'll start to progress and knock down those drop targets to get to that multi-ball, and then your ball ends and the next player begins, and it resets all your targets.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right back where you started.
So Chris needs some more snakes and more coffin hits to get to crank it up.
So for those that don't know, one of the things that you'll often see players do on this game, they'll hold a flipper in and get into the instant info screens, basically. And those are screens that are built into a lot of the modern games to give you information on your progress in the game so far. So that's something that you'll see commonly. Actually, this is a game you see it a lot on because people want to see how many of each item they have and how many they have to collect to get to crank it up.
For instance.
There you go. So what he's doing is he held in the flipper for a couple seconds, and then he's using the other flipper to cycle through the screen. It shows him his total items collected, his total bonus. So if you want to tilt it or not, you may decide
Ooh.
on that.
Ace there.
He's got a hurry up waiting for him there. He could start that and collect it and have those that orbit locked in for collecting items going forward. It's always a strategy in this game that sometimes gets overlooked.
So is there any way to tell how many more Sparky hits you need? How do those lights work in front of Sparky there?
Every third of the way, one lights up, I believe.
And then you get the flashing.
And then when it's flashing, it's
insert.
ready to go. I'm not sure if what the default is, but I know it goes up by like 1 or 2 hits each time. So
If anybody in chat knows, let us know. We'll relay that
Yeah.
information.
One more coffin, 2 more snakes. There'll be 1 more snake. And that, using the ramps there, because it has the snake lit in front of it. Get those last shots. Now he's...
Oh, nice
Good.
slap save.
I can't hit it.
Oh my God!
One
Struggle.
right here.
Focus.
Fail.
There.
Fail.
There it is.
All right, he's got crank it up. Lit.
Oh.
Oh, shame.
What kind of feed was that?
Shame.
A good one. That was right on the flipper.
One
That
that
was
you
a
didn't handle
horrible
well.
feed.
But you did win a free game.
That's all that matters.
That's good arcade wisdom there.
Roger Yep's asking about the location that we're at. We are still in the old Papa warehouse.
The current Papa warehouse. It's not old yet until we're gone.
True.
We don't have a new one yet. We're waiting until this building has a new owner. And then we'll move to our new facility, which I'm sure will be tremendous.
I can't wait.
Will we be taking the rug with us?
To answer the question in the chat of when we're moving, we're going to move when we sell this building.
So buy this building, and
Yeah.
we'll move fast.
Buy this building and kick us out.
All right, so Jake's going to take fade to black here. During this one, the playfield will slowly fade to black.
So this is a common one. What's the objective on this one, Pete?
I'm not sure. I defer to Brian.
This one is switch hits based. The more switch hits you make, the more jackpots you earn. And the playfield gets dimmer. Because you're fading to black. So this is one people like to play on the premium or the LE because the spinners really advance this. Now on the pro, the code compensates a bit on the orbit shots.
It'll give you a couple
It'll give
switch
you a couple
hits.
extra switch hits that count as a weak spinner, I would guess, or what our definition of a weak spinner would be here. We are a bit spoiled in the spinner department.
Nice power in lane there.
So this mode isn't completely, a waste of time on a pro by any chance. And you're still going to see a lot of people pick it, especially if the bumpers are sensitive and get up in those bumpers.
So there we saw in the orbits it was getting him like 2.1 million
Yeah.
per orbit, whereas all the other shots are getting him 500,000.
And every time he gets so many switch hits, he'll get another one of those jackpots.
You would think you'd want to put it up into the pops on a pro, but if you just saw that feed he got out of there,
Yeah.
you see why Jake is not doing that.
And it's designed to go around in
Nice
this
nudge.
mode, too, so you have to kind of hit it up there lightly to get it into the jets.
That mystery shot's really valuable now. An extra ball, a jackpot collect.
So Jake's going to try and get control here.
Oh.
For those paying attention, he said fade.
To black.
Fade. Good game by Jake, ending with
That was a
89
very
million.
solid game. that would be a decent qualifying score at a 3-ball event. That's not too bad.
Best username ever. We actually not going to sell pinball players with the building. We're just selling the building, so that's not a concern. It's not a concern.
Sorry, not for sale.
Although John is for sale for the right price.
Ooh, really? I'll send you a message on that later.
He actually does Windows too. He'll install them.
Ooh.
I heard he was a plumber in a past life, too.
He does plumbing. He will also powerbomb you. So
Yes, that's an unfortunate side effect.
Fred has just started Lady Justice by spelling Metallica.
So that's from shooting the ramps, correct?
Yes.
And then each shot to the ramps increases the value.
Ramps orbits, so you just alternate sides here, basically, to increase the value on each side. Or he can just drain and
Fred doesn't like that album.
try the Nick Jaquay shake. And
Fred is feeling shame right now.
that is 100% shame
Much
right
shame.
there, folks.
Yeah, 34 million. He improved on his last game. Good enough for third place again.
So Evan doesn't have any of his items lit.
It's coffin time.
Want to see
All
some
cap
coffin
to ball.
multi-ball maybe?
Yep.
That's a risky one to go for.
15-second ball saver. Build that up.
Good point.
Now he's got all he needs one more letter for snake at.
So he needs to shoot a shot.
Oh, good save. Maybe. It's not going to make you pay for that one. Probably wants to get a hold of it and settle
No.
down for a minute. Exhale. Tell us what the weather forecast is for the next day.
Tomorrow's beautiful
And rainy.
and rainy. Some thunder. Hopefully.
Maybe some snakes in the forecast.
Yeah, if he shoots snake now, he'll
Yes.
light
two
snake
multi-balls.
multi-ball.
No,
He-
snake.
yeah.
One letter for
also-
snake.
He also has the grave marker lit too.
Mhm. Oh, and he makes the backhand.
Yeah.
Nice safe shot. Took the backhand there. James, our producer, spot on with the
I don't want to know what that overlay
with the
says.
information. They were just telling about how many shots you made today.
I could put it in a way you might understand. They compared you to Jeff Rosella.
I'm kind of a Steve
Local
Crawford
weatherman
fan
for
myself.
people watching internationally.
A very short local weatherman.
What is with the short jokes today?
These people have no mercy.
None. It's supposed to be turning heel here
Alright,
anyway.
so-
So
The grave marker is over, but
More captive ball.
he has
More
snake
snake.
ready. He's got to get control
There.
here. Oh,
Oh.
lips out.
Snake says no.
Oh, come on,
Those
slings.
slingshots are brutal. Super
Oh, this is
sensitive.
disaster.
Oh no. Oh jeez.
On the fly. Oh,
Ah.
Get in there.
there
There
it
it
Oh,
is.
that's not ready.
It's
Now
lit.
now it's lit. You got to put it back.
now it's extra
No,
shoving.
had no
Oh.
dangers left. No dangers.
I know dangers.
Maybe we should have gave him an extra danger in the settings. I think we give Fred the extra
Grand
extra
champ.
ball save.
Jake
Yeah.
Pull a J check. What do your initials stand for, Jake? Oh, he's not wearing the headphone. That was a really bad
That's his
joke.
name.
That was a really bad joke. So we're gonna fire up another game of Metallica here. Right before we do that, I want to promote a new shirt on the Papa store. James, do we have that available? So available as of today on the Papa store,
Like right now?
like right now.
Oh.
If you would go there, is the new Stern Pro Circuit T-shirt. The front of the shirt has the cool silver ball logo on it. The back of the shirt has the complete schedule of the Stern Circuit. So that shows all the events that are in it. This is the third year we've done this shirt. It's been pretty popular. It's available right now on the Papa store, and something we're gonna do for people watching the video at home. If you leave a comment and you're a subscriber of our channel, at the end of the month, we're going to draw one random commenter on this video and send them a free T-shirt. Send them this
That's
shirt, actually.
Awesome.
So go buy one, and then maybe you'll win one, too.
That's great.
The other thing we want to mention real quick before we go back to Metallica is Path of Play. We're currently have a team established for Path of Play. Path of Play is a humanitarian effort, basically to help children and families with special needs. Basically, their goal is to use games, pinball, video games, board gaming to bring everybody together. We do have a team set up. If you go to pathofplay.org and click on register or donate, you can donate to our Pop Day team. There's many different levels you can donate at. Each one has a perk with it. The perk that we would like you to donate at, and if you donate at this one, we'll send you a random T-shirt for free. If you donate at the $50 level under Team Papa, so that we get credit and we know who's done this and who's been watching our stream, not only will you get the Path of Play T-shirt, but you're also going to get a random Papa T-shirt that our Minister of Swag, Elizabeth Cromwell, will send you. Mike reminded me today that we're getting close to the deadline. If you want your T-shirt by the time that Path of Play Day happens, you want to get your donation in quick. They'll be sending them out before April 28th. Otherwise, it's open until the end of the donation time. You'll see currently Team Papa is sitting in first place right now, which we're very proud of our community. But if you donate, you don't have to give $50. There's all the way down to $5 rewards. Every little bit helps. To learn more about their organization, just go to pathofplay.org.
not that we promote other teams, but there's been lots of pinball groups out there. Team Fun with Bonus, Team Flippin', which is the This Flippin' podcast team, Team Tilt Pinball. So while you should give to us, if you give to one of them, that's awesome as well. Every dollar helps.
So let's go back to Metallica. So who do we have on Metallica now?
Jared
New
Chambers.
player.
Yeah, young one, Creeping Death. Jared is one of the people who's taking part in the teching classes and helping out. One of Dan's apprentices.
Oh, most excellent. Oh, that was a big slap there.
Only gets one danger for it, though, so
Yeah.
it was a good slap.
I have to teach myself that one, perhaps. He only got one danger.
So I want to give Jared a shout out. He's a frequent contributor here at Papa in terms of helping us get situated. He traveled to Louisville with us and helped us with the stream and get set up with the tournament down there. He was out here earlier assembling games for us. You know, he's one of the people that
Don't
really
be fooled.
chip in and help make this happen.
He's
So,
one of the real rock stars here.
Yes, absolutely. And also he's a pinball rock star because he's going right into multi-ball.
That's right. We're going to epilepsy warning multi-ball.
So this Metallica also doesn't have LEDs. This was not a game that shipped with LEDs in
Yeah.
the Pro model. So it's not even too bad.
No, not really. But it does have that strobe up near the Sparky that, yeah.
It's no Game of Thrones.
No.
Which we should play that soon on PAPAtv. Let us know in the chat if you'd like to see that game at some
I
point.
think it's a good point to revisit that game since I still have no idea how to play it.
So don't put you on commentary for that game. Is
Well,
what
you
you're
can put me
telling
on commentary. I'm just going to ask lots of questions of someone who knows what the heck they're doing on it.
Earlier in the chat, they were intrigued by Apollo 13 right there behind John.
Oh, that would be a fun one.
We can
too.
throw that on.
You don't see that one often. That's a fun game. It's got Bill Paxton, so how bad could it be?
Well, you know, if it has Bill Paxton, it's awesome. So
Game over, man.
And it's the only game that you can pull off the quadruple Elwin.
What is the quadruple L one?
8 balls on one flipper and 4 on the other.
Can you actually do that? Like, is that possible? That won't like shove them off the flipper?
yeah, that seems like you're going to run out of space there.
All right. So John has promised us he's going to dance while he plays this game.
What should I go for?
You should go for end of the line.
We haven't seen Coffin yet.
No.
No coffin?
No Coffin.
It's going to be sort of standard then, so.
So how do we get into Coffin multi-ball?
Lots of captive balls.
Lots and lots of captive ball hits.
Can you build towards that multi-ball while you're in the other multi-balls?
Yes.
Well, up to a certain point, you can get as many captive ball hits as to your next lock. You can't collect the lock during the multi-ball, though.
Okay.
So at some point, it'll stop being effective. But if you get Sparky, get to the first lock, get Graveyard, get to the second lock, and then...
So that's why John is hammering on Sparky. I'm guessing he's going to try and get that multi-ball going. Power in lane there.
That was
Quick reflexes saved that one.
Nothing to do with the reflexes.
Nice drop catch to control that.
Oh.
Subtle moves like that are the reason that John's a champion.
And now it tilts.
This kick out has been tricky today.
Yeah, I like it when it's
John
tricky.
fires it away.
Right into the snake.
That's one of the things if you're competing in a competition or even just for dollars or just for fun, it's usually recommended if it doesn't make you nervous to watch the other player play, because there's a lot of games where things like that kick out, you watch how the other player handles it, and then if they're playing before you, you can learn either what to do or what not to do
Now,
based on their results.
now you see what John did there. He had Sparky lit, but he knew he was only a couple captive balls away from the first lock. He tried to get that one out of the way and then was going to use Sparky towards the second
And build
one.
towards the second one.
Unfortunately, it drained off the captive ball, but it was the right play.
It was the
Captive
right
ball is
call.
tough because you just get it's round. You get weird caroms off of it. So Chris actually owns a Metallica. Have you ever been to the end of the line mode?
Yes,
You-
I got it on stream.
Legit?
Yeah.
Nice. I've never even seen it.
Yeah, I haven't either.
It's cool if you like fuzzy dice.
I
So,
like fuzzy dice.
Someone had made a suggestion that maybe on some of these games we should actually go in and if we can't get to like these ultimate wizard modes and stuff like that because our games are set up hard. I mean, our players are great. It's always the game's fault. Would be to set up that mode just so people on stream could see it. What does everyone think of that idea? I'm torn. In a way, it's kind of cheating,
Thumbs down.
but in a way, it'd be
Well,
cool
you
to
know,
see
if
it.
we're showing off the advanced features of the game, and you know, with an explanation of that we're not nearly good enough to get to this through regular gameplay, sure.
As long as we put a spoiler warning on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll take off the glass for the Simpsons pinball party, and that's about it.
Oh,
Oh,
Chris,
wow,
what
right
are
off
you
the top of the
doing?
sling.
That's the difference between a 6-time PPL champion and a 5-time PPL champion.
I thought the difference there was one time.
So would you like to see End of the Line today in chat? Let us know. If enough people want to see it, we'll do that. If enough people are against it, we won't do it.
Oh.
I'd like to see it. I own the game. I've never done it.
Well, then this is something you can do in your free time, Evan.
Oh, come on.
Evan, he was mocking you because he doesn't have free time.
Well, actually, neither do I, but
So Evan is actually going for the elusive bricked ball multi-ball. Most people don't know about that on Metallica.
no, that's a new one to me.
Chris and I were just trying ramp piston combos, which is a strategy if you can make a shot.
That's the difference between a 5-time PPL champion and Evan.
And a no-time PPO champion.
Hey,
Hey, I'm right there with you, buddy.
Me too. Chris can make shots. I cannot.
So we got 2 votes for no for End of the Line and 3 votes for yes so far. So chime in if you have an opinion.
So in general, how do you get to end of the line?
You do everything. How do you get to End of the Line, Evan? I don't know.
let's see. I think you have to complete all the crank it up modes and all of the different guitar pick.
You need the picks, you need the modes.
Apparently Keith Elwin has done it, and he has video online. We may still do it tonight, but I'll link to it after we get this video posted. I'll try and find it and see if I can put a link up for everybody.
That would be cool.
Now, CDs has also done it on stream, so he should send it to me because he just mentioned that. He should send it.
He could totally send
He
it to
should
you.
send me that link. Hey, Chris, send me the link for your End of the Line video. Text it to me, and then I'll put it in the show notes. People can see it.
Ooh. and Jared found the unforgiving out lane. 2 return lanes, 1 out lane, and it still will go to that out lane so many times, Doug. So many times.
I was talking to somebody yesterday. We had a tournament, and I can't remember the game they were talking about. It was one of the older games without out lanes, and he's like, "This game is hard, but I like it because I can't lose it down the out lanes
Yeah, that's a good point.
because there were no out lanes." So John, wow,
Oh,
he's gonna get that back.
Yeah, he started an electric chair, so he's good.
I started an electric chair. That doesn't mean I'm good.
Well, you haven't lost your ball. You're gonna get it back.
He's going to get more than 1 back. And he needs all 4 guitar picks to light his snake for the 2 times and add a ball.
It's not about adding ball. It's about the coffin. All cap the ball.
So you're going to see him try and get his coffin lock here. Work towards it. Oh, unfortunate kick out of the snake almost led to disaster.
Yeah, he recovered nicely.
I don't
And
think
now
I don't
he's
think
got-
he's recovered yet.
Now
there
he's
we
got
go.
the add ball lit.
He's got one under control.
Right in. Beautiful.
So he's going to get an add a ball, and that'll actually add on a ball saver for him for a short amount of time.
Is this your standard 30-second ball save here, Doug? That you put on for Fred?
It's much shorter. Much shorter.
He
Now,
just collected a hurry
multi-ball
up.
ball savers, that is something you can change in the settings.
And some games, I'm not sure if Metallica has it or not. I would have to look. But there are games where you can adjust the multi-ball ball savers downwards. It's something we frequently do in high-level tournament play. Like if you watch our circuit video from 2 weeks ago, just as a way to keep the game times down, make the games a little bit more difficult.
I was playing a Ghostbusters on route, and it seemed like the ball save on it during the multi-balls lasted forever.
I think one of the multi-balls in Ghostbusters does have like a super long ball save, like built-in default. That's a game I honestly haven't played a ton of.
Are extra balls on?
Yeah.
Extra balls are on.
It's 15 cap the balls or any of the other standard ones.
I'll cheat. I'll take an extra ball.
It's not cheating when they're turned on.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay, 8 more for his third lock. 7.
That's so many dangerous shots.
6.
I like
Jeez.
Look at this. Never missing. Boom. Even gets a snake out of it. The perfect outcome. Cap the ball and snake.
Time to shoot dangerous stuff. So this is not, I would assume, not a strategy you would go for in tournament play, John.
There's been times where I've actually employed it, though. Like, if I get to a point where I know I need a good crank it up plus points, I'll make sure I get to a coffin before I go in and crank it up.
That's,
It is what it is.
That lock is lit.
Does that shot react differently on different machines? Like this one seems to be exceptionally out of control, but I don't know how much different it could be because it's still a solid ball you're shooting.
Okay, so now he's already into Coffin, and now I believe with Coffin he can bring in one other multi-ball.
And I'm set up for the one, so I'm not going to take it. So I'm going to build to where I want to have all my multi-balls ready when I come out, which is really a key to this.
Okay, so you're not going to use it as a ball saver and...
No, I will actually go into one, but I first try to... I don't want to hit grave marker now. Now I want to hit a bunch of electric chair hits first, if I can.
Oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
yeah, he wants to get them all kind of close to being ready to
And
go.
then just
Pete.
pick whichever one it is, and all the others are ready when he comes out. Yeah,
Right.
that's a smart move.
So now I got a lot of stuff lit, which is pretty cool. Let's take that one.
Okay, now he gets the ball save for the grave marker.
Mm-hmm.
And now I might choose to add a ball here, so I get up to 4.
Yep.
Might choose. You probably will choose.
They were really close to crank it up as well. Which you
Yes, he
can't
is.
start
Yeah.
during multi-ball, but
No, you cannot.
Yeah,
something great to drain out and then back into.
if you get Coffin, you're almost going to back into a crank it up coming out of it.
That should get you enough coffins,
Yeah.
at the very least.
Yeah.
Which is usually the roadblock.
Okay. Fire away. Everything's lit. Yay!
Yep. Now it's points time.
And there's crank it up. Ready to go. These are some big jackpots he's just scoring there, too, by the way. With the doubler going, it's nice rewards.
Here's a question about tournament settings and extra balls and not playing them. In general, a lot of the games will have settings where you can turn them off completely, so it's not an option. Others, like Metallica, you can set it to be points. So if you do get the extra ball, it's 2.5 million, and it doesn't extend the time the game goes, but still makes it have some value to the players.
Yeah, that's usually an adjustment made just to keep the game times down, because when you get elite players like John on a game, if you give John unlimited extra balls,
You call him elite,
he's
see
going to
what
make
happens?
you stand here for a long time. He drained instantly. He drained instantly.
All right, let's see if
Didn't
he...
like that.
And it's up and...
Almost.
But if you want to see a reason not
There
to
it
leave
is.
extra balls on, there's a circuit final on Harlem Globetrotters.
Pick us one we haven't seen, John.
What have you seen?
All the way to the end. Enter Sandman. Fred loves it.
What are you doing, Enter Sandman?
That's a good question.
Let's find out.
Apparently nobody picks this.
Well, he's got the guitar
Complete
pick.
shots.
You complete shots, John.
Shots change when missed. So be accurate.
You hit the pick target and drain.
Well, that wasn't it. Oh, look, the shots are moving. Oh my God!
Wow.
And that's why you don't pick Enter Sandman.
So we've learned that you don't pick Enter Sandman.
That Fred taught us that.
Fred did mention that at the beginning of the broadcast.
Drum solo by Chris.
Oh, yeah. I figured John has got the air guitar, so I'll take the drums.
There you go. That's a good way to do it.
John.
Okay, Chris, we need one more crank it up. We need battery.
Yep, we need to see it.
Good luck.
We also need someone to just pick the 5 million.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
We have footage of Chris doing that in this building, in fact.
Oh, no.
What, picking the 5 million?
Yep.
Yeah. It was bad.
In chat, someone's asking if there's ever a Papa doubles tournament, split flipper tournament. We have done mini tournaments before, and we last couple of years we had a whole split flipper division, with where you win the John Repligal Memorial Golden Chainsaw Trophy.
You don't actually win the trophy. I believe you get your name.
You get your
on
name
it.
on it, but you get to look at it.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe we'll let you touch it.
Oh,
Might have
totally
to
let you pose for some pictures.
Bring that
with
out
it.
to replay this year.
That is the trophy is the work of the lovely Elizabeth Cromwell. John can tell you the story about why it's a chainsaw some other time.
Well, that's covered in past
Tune in next
broadcasts
week.
as well.
That's what we call cliffhanger.
So does that mean we're playing Stargate next week, too?
Jake will tell you that story
About playing Stargate?
about the dangers of teching on Stargate.
Oh, yes.
So, Evan, can you answer questions while playing? We have a very in-depth question here.
I can try.
Why do you use the finger that you use on the flipper, and which one are you using?
Middle. And because it just feels natural.
So you prefer middle over index or thumb or?
Has multiple meanings.
I did not mean to go there, actually. No, it's
I mean, it is a good question, though.
We should have a
It
thumbs
is.
only tournament where you can only flip with your thumbs.
That'd be
Like
interesting.
a little mini tournament.
oh, I did one.
That'd be interesting, Doug. That would be something I'd come out to compete for.
Brian only competes in the most random tournaments
Hey,
he
we
can
did
find.
it.
Yeah.
All right, we get a
Yeah.
snake.
The heck with ramp pistons. I can't do that consistently anyways.
So what's the objective of snake multi-ball?
Shoot snakes.
Points.
Drive the snakes from Ireland.
I don't think
No?
that's the point.
I don't
No.
think that's how it works either.
A different game.
This is one of the more interesting graphics in the game. The different things that come out of the snake's mouth.
There's a cow in there.
Yes.
Really?
A cannonball.
Of course there's a cow in there. It's a pinball game.
Yes.
You should explain the cows.
Cows have been Easter eggs in pinball machines since Williams Fire, I think, was like the first game that really had it in there. So
Well, because a cow started the Great Chicago Fire, so.
as legend has it. So in a lot of pinball machines, there's cows, either in the graphics or sometimes they're hidden, or there's a couple games out there where if you put MOO as your initials, it'll actually moo at you.
What a Lazarus bounce back.
That's terrible.
And
the
then
bottom
there
of
they
the
all
air.
go.
Yep, that's the way it works. But
Yeah, it's a pretty full snake, though. 8 million's
Oh,
worth.
bad flip. All right.
it's good play by Evan there.
Snake was my goal. Snake goal.
Showing off that snake multi-ball. I mean, he's still got a ball to play, so.
So Jared's currently in third place on this game. He's looking at that 57 million that John has and saying, I can do that.
Sure, I can.
I can do that.
Step 1, start a multi-ball. Which one?
Step 1, plunge the ball. There you go.
Step 1, super skill shot. There
Yeah.
it is. There it is. The ever valuable Metallica letter.
Mm-hmm.
What does spelling Metallica get you?
Get you to the justice
I
mode.
remember. Oh, that's right. That's the alternating ramps.
Yeah, the alternating shots.
Another,
Mode that no one actually plays out.
another thing we didn't talk about, we saw it briefly when Doug went into the settings to set the ball saver, but there are some tournament directors who will set Sparky super hard, like 15 or 20 hits, and make
That's just mean. Who would
Crank-
do that?
crank it up as small as possible to make players play crank it up and ignore Sparky.
Who would do that?
You would,
Jim
Doug.
Belcita.
Jim Belcita. That's the correct answer. Jim is a tournament director out in California. Also a heck of a player.
Yeah, he's not too
Always
bad.
look forward to their big tournament out there is Indisc. It never drains in Southern California, and they always pick the best, most original games and figure out ways to make games work that people say can't be used in a tournament, and I respect that greatly.
Jim is also a one-time
Oh.
Pinball champion.
So John there, that's actually a common mistake for new players. It's odd to see John do it. He made the shot and he left the flipper up, which of course when that flipper up, the gap between the flippers is a lot bigger when it's up, and that directly led to him losing that ball.
He put diesel in when he needed unleaded. All right, now Chris needs 3 million to get past Jared.
He's
Whoa.
working on those pick targets.
I'm getting them all,
Oh.
guys.
He's going for those band members to get
Not good.
Oh.
Oh man, you almost got them all,
I tried.
and you got that one like 3 times.
All right, what do we want to see besides my dream?
I don't think we've seen almost everything except battery and someone actually completing all the picks.
We're gonna though after this game when we're gonna go to Dracula, and then we're gonna have someone in the background set us up some end of line on Metallica so we can show it to you guys.
Oh,
What are you working towards, Evan?
I don't know. I'm
The
just playing
outlane.
Stupid. There we go.
Working towards playing stupid.
He's got
At
his
least that
hurry up
doesn't
going,
require a lot of effort.
And he collects his hurry up.
Yeah.
And
I really just want to play Dracula. Or something.
We just want to move on to Dracula. Player
That's
2.
not me.
I score number 2.
That's John.
That would be Big John.
Thanks. I'll set you up.
So let's.
I'm not sure what John was trying to show us there, but
Let's before we start.
Turn the volume down on it.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go to Dracula, but let's have Elizabeth bring over the split flipper trophy. She brought it over here for us, so you guys can see exactly what we're talking about. It is actually a golden chainsaw. If James were right here, so there it is, the John Rapogle Memorial Split Flipper Chainsaw Trophy. Who are our past winners?
Well, I don't have Papa 20 on.
Just some of your attendants.
But
Who's on there?
we got
So we've got Josh and Zach Sharp. I'm pretty sure they cheated to get that. Brett Goodwin and Naomi Goodman. And we don't have the Papa 20 winners on here. So I'm going to say it was Kevin Martin and Mark Steinman. It wasn't?
no, because I'm Kevin Martin.
I made that up.
wasn't it Trent Augustine and John Rapogle?
Was it? Did you win this trophy, John?
It's two gentlemen from Japan. You're both both conspiring to like.
Elizabeth's going to get us the names of those winners. And then we'll announce them because we don't have them on the trophy yet because she didn't update it. But that's an awesome trophy. Elizabeth created that. There's a great story behind that. So next week, make sure you ask John in the chat when he's on here about that story. And no matter what he tells you, it definitely had something to do with dolphins.
I was completely all about the Dolphins.
Absolutely, 100%. He's going to deny it, but don't believe him. So we have Pete switching out here. We're going to bring in Fred Cochran, and we're going to fire up Dracula. Who's playing Dracula? Someone go play Dracula.
I'll play Dracula. I think I can beat my two.
I'm going to take a back seat here. We're going to let Chris step in.
I'm always stepping.
Hey, Fred, how's it going, buddy?
Great, Brian. How are you?
Life is good, man. Life is good.
Better than sitting over here
Life
not
is good.
embarrassing myself on the internet.
Oh man, don't you have a tiny head? All right, there we go.
Hey, Chris.
Chris Stevens joining us as well. He's
Hello, fellow pinball friends.
he's going to help us out a little bit with Dracula as far as the rules. I think
I'm gonna do my best. I don't have a lot of time on this, but this is definitely one of those games in which you don't see it too often. So early in my pinball years, I was always like, let's play this game because I'd never seen anyone play it.
it's definitely a rare game. Actually, Doug uncovered yesterday that there were about 260 examples of this game produced, which I had no idea it was that low.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
a
had no idea
very
either.
low. Very
so
low.
production is low. You don't see these everywhere. Although I think there are 3 here in the Pittsburgh area somewhere.
Yeah, surprisingly.
So how do you get big scores on this, Chris? I know that the targets at the top have a lot to do with it.
Actually, they do. Those upper top right drops in front of that upper flipper. If you complete all the drops one time, you are awarded the cats. As you can see, he's got the lower 2, and so the cats are lit, and then it resets them. And then if you hit them all down again, it gives you the bats. And once you light all of the bats, that's what lights that lower left in lane special.
Okay.
And if you're able to get that over and over, you get big points.
Actually, I have some information on it. Thanks to Louis Bevins for giving us information as far as the game. 6 of 1,000. Spinner lights for 1,000 for every 6,000 in bonus, starting with 2,000. And then, isn't that special? Chris just covered that. And then to collect it, the one way you can do it is shatzing or alley passing the in lane and that's by shooting the ball from the right flipper at the very end and then shooting it into the left in lane to roll over that and collect it. And you said that stays lit after you collect it, right, Chris?
Correct.
Okay.
It stays lit until your ball is over. I'm not sure if
wow.
you can change the state of the machine while you're in the middle of play to make it go off. If you do, I would highly encourage you to not do that.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, and in-lane passing is not safe, only because like we were doing this before the broadcast started, just testing it, and a couple of times I was able to do it, and it went up and over and out the out lane, which is very common for this era of Stern. It's easy to do it, but you run the risk of shooting it up and over, especially with the post rubbers removed.
Oh, certainly. You kind of have to give it a nice little smack to the side to make sure it doesn't crawl up and over.
So Dan, gentleman who was on the broadcast earlier as one of our techs, just gave you a kind wave, so you have a face to put with the voice. This is pretty rare. I don't think I've ever really watched Dan play pinball. He's always under the hood fixing the games.
Yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing. I'm so used to seeing him inside of the machine rather than in front of it.
Yeah, it's nice to see him stick around and help out with the broadcast and come out and actually enjoy some of the work that he actually puts in. All the techs that come down here and help us, whether with the tech class or our full-time techs. Without them, none of this is possible because the games would not work. Because I certainly don't know how to fix them, and I don't want to either. I like breaking them.
I'm doing pretty well with fixing my own machines, but I mainly handle and stick to the older EMs, but I'm slowly learning about everything else.
Yeah, like people ask me if I, since I'm around them all the time, do I want to fix them? I really just, I don't have the attention span or the knowledge to do it. And I know I could probably learn it, but it's just not something that interests me. So
Nice.
Dan only needed one more bat. Now, I don't know if those targets carry over, but if they do,
They do not.
Okay, well, then he has to do it all over again. Too bad. Just so he can get the special lit here. So we'll see if the West Virginia State champ can do it.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be the challenge of the stream here, is trying to be the one that is able to knock down all the drops on one ball and then actually collecting that special on that in lane. I really hope we'll be able to get it on the stream because it's very hard to do. I think I ended up playing this a while last week, and or 2 weeks ago, sorry, and I couldn't get it. It's really, really hard to do.
Well, you were here a couple weeks ago, and it was actually where Apollo 13 is sitting right now in the background, and you had rolled the game.
Oh yes, I got it that time.
So you crushed it. So wasn't sure if you just had a short memory or if that was just a different time.
That was a different time.
Okay.
But I remember us talking about the potential of this being in, and I was like, well, I don't really have enough game time on this to have any knowledge of it, so I thought I'd give it a shot.
Pete, we're not allowed to do post transfers here. You have to do alley passes, buddy. Alley passes only. None of that post transfer stuff.
Too fancy.
The one thing about these Sterns too, again from this era, if you look, the flipper gap on this game is wider.
Here we go.
And in some there's 100,000 right there. You just rolled it over. The flipper gap on this is wider than a traditional flipper gap, and there is no post down there to stop the ball from bouncing out like in Stars or Magic or whatever. So one mistake with the flippers, you definitely can lose the ball pretty quickly.
Oh, definitely. It seems like everything goes down the middle on this machine.
So he's going to have to shots the in lane this time. Hopefully he'll get it on the right flipper. And
He's still going down with the drops. He's
show us how to do it,
really
Pete.
well with them.
Come on, state champ. Show us how to do it. Oh, he's nudging it.
Hey.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That was a great ball by Pete.
That was a fantastic
That was
ball.
a great ball.
He cleared the drops on the left to give himself a double bonus when lit.
Mm-hmm.
And as you see on the screen here, James Coons is head of Local 66 Vampire Hunters. And nothing goes down. No stakes are used or whittled without his approval, of course.
Whittled. Nice.
Yes.
Whittle them steaks.
They have to be whittled. No manufactured ones. They have to be handcrafted.
Does he sign them individually as well?
Yes, on the limited edition, yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, on limited edition, James Coons will sign it as long as you sign a waiver. So James is going to try to get the targets down as well. Bats
Yeah,
it.
he actually made a spinner shot that made it all the way around to the upper flipper.
Yeah.
And
Whoa, what was that?
That was a nice save.
So I get used to that bumper at the top. Every time that ball hit that bumper, I always just think it was going to pop all over the place, but it's just a dead bumper.
It's just a dead bumper. It has no popping action. It just has point scoring action.
Stern like to put those in their games early on. The Meteor has one.
Meteor? Meteor has 2.
The Meteor does have 2. You're right.
He's up to 20,000 points in bonus right now. So if he wants to, well, he will click his bonus right there.
Thanks.
But he could have shot that little cage area on the upper left there to get himself a collect bonus.
You know what that thing reminds me of? It reminds me of that little pizza disc they put right in the middle of the pizza to hold the pizza together. That's where that little thing looks like to me. And Aton's dancing for some reason. And I don't know what they're doing on Metallica over there, but they're headbanging or something. I don't know. If they're trying to get state of the game for end of the line, it's taking them an awful long time just to do it manually. Just think of what it's going to take when you play the game, play the game. Oh, jeez.
There's the collect bonus hole, as we call the collect up the cage.
The cage, huh?
The cage.
And
Gotta
you
cash it out.
And you can just rebuild it after you cash it out. You can rebuild it and collect it, and rebuild it and collect it.
Oh yes.
That was a staple in a lot of these early games. So just build your bonus, collect. Stern really like to put that in their early games.
One thing I'm not sure of, and I hope we might be able to get an example of during our gameplay here, is if you have, let's say, a 2x multiplier, if you hit that cage, does it count your 2x? Or does it
That's a
just
good
count it
question.
single? That might be worth looking into.
To find out.
Maybe we'll have to have our save staters work on that next week.
Yeah, top men.
Yeah, they're doing some, like I said, I think they're getting it to the end, but it is, like I said, it's taken a long time just to get to it.
Nice nudging, Aton.
Oh, no post in the middle for you. That's a good ball, though.
That was a very good ball.
That was
He
great.
Scored a lot of points. It was good stuff.
Let's see if Dan Hall can get up and join the 6-digit club.
He is awfully close.
I think he'll get it. He'll have it here in pretty short order. We'll crank that spinner a couple times, maybe.
Whoa.
Oh, nice little nudge there.
Very nice.
Nice little
And he
pass over.
Held it up. There's the bonus collect.
It's 100,000. Oh, another nice save.
I would
That's
say that looked dangerous.
That was because of the slowness of it. It's actually harder.
Oh,
Sometimes.
another great nudge. Oh, he tilted. That was fantastic nudge, though. That was a nice try, Dan.
I don't know about you, Chris and Fred, but sometimes you give me too much time to decide on a shot, and I'll find a way to miss it.
Yeah, it definitely happens to the best of us. Sometimes I'm in a cradle, I'm like thinking what I'm gonna do, and I'm like, that should be what I do. And then right when I'm about to, release the flipper and press the button again to make the shot, I think, don't do that. And then I hit like the post in between and drain it.
So I never actually take the time to do that. When I sit there and I totally get in my own head and
It's a
just
blank slate, isn't it?
Yeah,
Fred?
it's like, is there anybody in there? It's an echo. It's what's going on in there.
Say hello.
Oh.
Hello. Wow.
Uh-oh.
That was a nice
Nice
nudge by
and
the
a great save.
West Virginia State champ.
This guy can play.
I don't know what they're doing. Oh, that was another great nudge, and he didn't tilt. Oh,
Oh.
There, his rabbit foots ran out.
Got the double bonus. Count it again.
So I see on Metallica here, it's flashing almost 200 million. Looks like they got it to where they need to get it, I think. So we're gonna. Yeah, you did it four-handed.
Well, he did it one-handed. He
two
just
people
had the
working
glass
on it.
off and poked all the switches.
So I think we're gonna probably at some point take a look at. I'm gonna guess it's end of the line, but after this game, we're
Oh
gonna
my goodness!
take a look at it.
That save is worth clipping.
There's been some fantastic saves in this game by
Look at this
all
guy.
players.
This is why he's the lead of the Vampire Hunter Club right here.
Local 66, baby, representing.
There it is. Thank you.
Spinner rip,
Back up to catch some bats.
cats and bats.
Cats and bats.
Cats and bats. Oh, another save. Kick save and a beauty.
At this point, if he doesn't like that spinner, I'm just going to be disappointed.
I think you should go up there and slap him.
I'd probably
Instead of
tilt
being
him at this
disappointed.
point. Look, he threw the spinner again. Look at this guy.
Oh, one more target.
Okay, one more. No pressure.
No pressure, James.
No
Come
pressure.
on, no pressure. Shoot the spinner, James. Come on, don't mess it up.
Oh!
He did it.
Okay, this is where it all matters now. Yes.
Wow, that was huge.
More. 20 million.
Oh! But his score is still counting from what he did it before.
Fantastic.
That was 100,000 point shots.
All right, so there was a question in the chat in regards to why people were wearing the headphones. It's basically just so we can make fun of everybody that's playing the game and put extra pressure on them. Aton's making boo-boo face right now.
It allows them to hear us better.
Yeah, it's more clear.
Yeah.
And plus it looks neat. You're official.
Wow, that's some silence right there
That
for
was-
Aton plunge right
That was
there.
creepy silence.
That's okay. That's okay. Aton's going to blow it up here, so. Extra ball, 50,000? Extra ball worth 50,000 in this
Creepy
game?
silences at
I'm not
points.
sure, Fred.
I know some of these old Stearns extra balls are worth 50,000 because I know some of the specials are
Or
too.
they're worth nothing.
Yeah.
Or they're worth
Or they're
nothing.
worth nothing.
Yeah, or they're worth 0. So
All right, let's see if Dan is able to step up and get some cats and bats.
Dan Hall, let's see if he can make a massive comeback. We got 415 is the high score right now.
And weird thing about Stern Dracula is how you light the spinner. If you notice, it kind of goes off and on every now and then. Well, that's because it activates according to what your bonus is. So whenever you start, your bonus is at 2,000. That lights the spinner. Whenever it reaches 6,000, or maybe it's 8,000, sorry. I think every 6,000 it relights the spinner for
I believe that's correct.
1,000 points.
Yes. So it alternates. So. All right, so we're going to go over to Metallica, and it looks like, John, when we were off camera, he did it one-handed and got it set up for end of the line.
He did it one-handed while moonwalking.
Yeah, one-handed while playing air guitar to Enter Sandman.
Can we see, like, split flipper end of the line here?
Evan Bookbinder.
You move the...
Somebody move the camera.
End of the line for us.
John's helping in one way and totally screwing things up in another
Evan's
way.
never
so.
got there before. This isn't going to work.
So we're going to turn up the volume again, turn the music back on.
Just remember, Evan, fuzzy dice.
Fuzzy dice.
Fuzzy
Not
dice.
too loud, John. Not too loud, John. Too loud.
He was too busy jamming.
What old folks home are you from there, Mr. Cochran?
Yeah, this is... You're supposed to...
Well,
crank
we're
it up.
that heavy metal music
Listen,
over
we're
there.
considering the viewers at home. We want to be able to talk, and we don't
We
have
do
to
it
talk
for
over.
you.
We don't want to talk over Metallica.
Okay, wouldn't it be hysterical if they just couldn't hit the mystery shot?
Plunge it around, John.
Yeah, plunge it around, John. Just do the plunge. That was not
You
the
missed.
plunge.
You
missed.
missed.
You
That
missed
was way-
horribly. Oh, now he tried to get cute and backhand it. Let's go. Boom. Nope.
Nope, not good enough.
That's not the scoop, John.
Sparky's looking at you weird.
That's not the scoop either, John. All right. let's
Remember, the
see.
game is going to play different now that you have the glass off. At least he has an extra ball.
Is the glass off?
Yeah, you can hear it.
Why did you just grab the ball and put it in the hole? He's obviously not going to make the shot.
We could be here all day, guys. We need, like, the music. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. All right.
Hey, John, you need to make the game easier, please. The glass is off. The ball stays
Hey,
on an hour. Come
he
on.
still has to select the mode, so don't fall asleep up there. Or 9 million.
Crank it down.
No.
Dude, if you went and selected 9 million, I'm going to come over and smack you in the face.
I think we
Tell
all
you
would
right
at this
now.
point. All right, so here comes the fuzzy dice.
I have no idea what this is, so Chris, I'm going to let you talk about this.
This is a pretty simple mode. I'm not going to lie. You got some fuzzy dice. You got the hula. All you got to do is just shoot the shots. I honestly don't know how to play this mode other than hitting a shot will make one solid. I think he has the drop target solid.
Well, if he has to shoot the scoop, he's going to be totally messed up because he couldn't hit the scoop before.
John, if you can, shoot all the blinking shots and leave the solid ones solid. See what happens there.
So there's fuzzy dice. You're driving through the desert.
Good.
And what song is this? This is a song that's not on the playlist. Well, I can't hear it right now. What is the song?
That's the end of the line song.
Oh, that's off of Death Magnetic, I think. Right?
I think
so.
you're right, Fred.
Oh, John.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And
John.
that's your mode. Just kidding.
So you keep on playing. Now, can you get an Add-a-Ball, Chris, on this?
I don't believe so. Or unless we want to pop it in the mystery and see what happens.
Unless you hit the pick, maybe you can add a ball that way. Since it's a multi-ball, maybe if you hit the last pick, you can shoot it in the snake.
Nope. What do we got here? Will he get a crank it up bonus?
Oh, you got 500,000.
He just got points.
Mm-hmm. He's got 14 seconds here.
14 seconds. 10. Go. Okay, so basically that just relit another one. Okay, we now have a strobing jackpot. But time is up.
Time is up for the mode.
Oh,
wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
He did get an Add-a-Ball.
So there you go.
So finish the red shots.
Finish all the shots, hit the strobing shot, and then it gives you
Add-a-ball.
a jackpot and an add-a-ball.
And a nice ball save, it looks like, too.
Yeah, for real.
The 15-minute ball save
Maybe
provided by Doug.
hit that shot again, John. Like, see what happens whenever you hit the solid one again.
Oh, you're asking him to get a shot off to the side of the board. He's never going to make
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's true.
Forget it. Look at that. Look at that fumble again. Grab the ball, John. Throw it in the piston. Oh, now you make it into scoop. Nice job.
Okay, he caught it. We're good.
Now John has a broken knuckle.
Okay, so it didn't give him an add-a-ball there. So you actually have to hit every single shot once.
Yeah.
We're sorry, folks. John would probably be normally good at this, but right now his pinball skills are waning.
Waning like the moon, huh?
Something like oh, man, that was awful.
If only the glass was off and he could have saved that.
That was too fast to save it.
All that work.
Oh, man.
So John went over, took off the glass, played with all the switches for about 20 minutes, and then that lasted for a whole 5. Way to go.
Yeah, I think whenever I got to the end of the line,
You should have
I
done
was
it, Evan.
streaming. Whenever I
You
was
really
streaming,
should have done it, Evan.
I couldn't do much with it. I was just so hyped and amped up about getting end of the line that I couldn't do anything else. I don't think I got to the first thing to get an add-a-ball.
So that was Metallica, end of the line.
That was the end of the line.
You won't see that in probably most instances. It is a very long and arduous task to get to.
Oh,
I've only seen, I think I saw Elwin do it on one of his videos, but I've never even seen anybody attempt it before. So
I think the video where I completed it is no longer available on Twitch, so it's gone.
oh, nice. I didn't know you had attained it as well. Sorry.
I guess I'll have to do it again.
I think you need to.
I think I'm going to now. Now it's going to be a goal of mine.
Because that would definitely be an improvement over what John did.
Do it with the glass off. Whoa.
Oh.
The
star
advanced bonus
rollover.
star rollover said to the outlane.
That was rough. Those star rollers can give you some points, but they can certainly end your ball pretty quickly.
Some of those star rollovers can be mighty tricky.
All right, Jared Chambers, one of many people who help make things happen here at Papa with traveling events
And that was
setup and
spot on upper flipper action. He picked off every single target to get his cats.
made a nice outline save too. The outlines on this are pretty crazy, and it's actually wrong. Jared did not set up 274; it was 276. So that number is incorrect.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Jared helps out down here. And again, thanks to anybody that comes down and gives us a hand.
All right,
getting
John.
ready
Glasses
ready.
on. Don't forget.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you to our producer, Doug. John still thinks he's playing end of the line, so I don't know what he's looking for red strobing shots or something.
I feel like I need some redemption after that. That was like the most horrible end of the
Yeah,
line.
that was good. We needed to showcase exactly how hard that mode was, not just to get to, but just to play out.
I'd like to mention, like, me and Evan are just like, why would you even try to do this? So mean.
There goes John. And yes, that is true. John does play with the glass off constantly. And, still drains.
Still drains. What can you do?
He's showing everybody
He's doing
his...
some very good alley passing.
He knows where the shots is for sure, but somebody has to tell him that the special's not lit yet. But,
You got to practice whenever it counts.
there it goes right there. I like it. Whatever I get on his...
I am all for practicing before it counts, so that whenever it happens, you're ready for it.
You miss, like, all the time. because that's what he did on the scoop on that. So.
Yeah.
All right, so cats and bats. We're gonna see somebody get specials
bats,
again.
Specials.
It'd be great if we can get James to get up there and not like that though, and make it happen.
Not like that though.
Not like this.
All right. It's happening now.
And here's Elizabeth, and she's gonna go up there, and she's gonna hit a bunch of cats and bats. Minister of Swag, Elizabeth is the Minister of Swag. So if you order anything from our Papa store, Elizabeth set up the Papa store and has it up and running. And please go to papa.org and buy stuff. Lots of T-shirts, lots of cool stuff on there.
You ever you see that the vampire in the top right on the plastic? That kind of looks like Marilyn Manson.
That does look like Marilyn Manson. It might be him. I think he might have been the inspiration.
He might have been.
Oh, man.
I had a feeling that whenever I saw that coming down, it hit the top of the outside of that sling. I felt like that was going to be leaving.
So John
John's
was
wearing
licking his wounds, and he had to put a collar around him so he didn't stop licking his wounds.
Yeah,
from
we
Metallica.
ran out of cone of shame, so now he's
Cone of shame, belt of shame,
belt
right.
of bricks.
So let's see, Brian Tessier.
Look,
and he got it lit.
Look at this. Look at this.
All right, here we go.
Don't choke, John. Don't choke, John.
No! No!
Thank you for fulfilling the prophecy, John.
He had a belt in his eyes. That doesn't count.
Hold on a second. He completed the bank twice with a belt in his eyes. I don't want to hear any excuses. That was just poor execution.
Man.
He drained. He sucks.
That's John from Pittsburgh, ladies and gentlemen.
This is all the payback that I get for John for talking smack against me. He just choked. He had a beautiful setup and just totally blew it.
Hey, he still has one ball remaining, and he's currently leading.
Minister of what a save by the Minister of
Tilt,
Swag.
tilt.
Oh, she tilted.
I was gonna say
That was a beautiful save, though. That was much better than what John did. All right, Jared. Jared's tired from setting up 276 games, but he's still going to one-up John here.
he's still gonna beat him.
Yeah, he's going to beat John. No doubt.
Whoa.
I'm not sure what
Tried
that
to
was. I'm not sure what that was, but he's not going to beat him doing that stuff.
On it.
Oh, man. All
We
right.
actually saw an amazing event happen on this earlier whenever Pete Hendricks shats the in lane and got the ball stuck on the special.
What did he
insert.
do? Just
On the
nudge, like a
insert,
nudge
yeah.
on the
It
insert?
just got stuck on the insert. It was magical.
Okay, John's on his way to blowing it again. Got cats already. Here we're going to go for the bats.
Bats, good.
All right, there you
Okay,
go.
one
Good,
more.
good.
One more.
Looks like an instant replay of last time.
Oh, here we go. This is where it all falls apart.
That's right.
Seriously? I mean, I've played in the finals of Papa, and I never felt this much pressure.
I know. we have to make it happen. That's
You didn't have headsets on before last time, and you were playing an A. You didn't have a headphone on, so.
all right.
All right, John. So
This
you want to
is it.
shats the in lane this time. So you want to pass the ball from the right to the left over that contact
You're
on the left, and not hit the bottom of the sling and drain on the right out lane again.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, exactly.
It's gone.
You got-
Oh,
wait.
okay.
He's back.
All right. Shh, okay.
He's gonna get it. The nerves are coming.
John's taking a deep
The
breath.
nerves are coming.
He's thinking happy thoughts.
Yes.
There it is. Good job, John. And now you'll drain.
Now we want more. More.
More? We want more?
More.
Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Here's another one. Watch this. The pressure's on. Oh,
Lovely.
beauty.
A
Oh.
little greedy.
Oh, look, there's an outline over there.
Yeah, there's no special light over there, John. Oh, nice
Ooh.
save.
Beautiful. Again.
Oh, bye-bye. And there it is.
Redemption!
John makes up for his futile attempt on end of the line and gets a nice 751,000 on
Did he
Dracula.
score more points on that than he scored during end of the line?
I think he did. He did have more points on that
he
Dracula
definitely
than
made
he did
more
on
shots.
Metallica.
He definitely made more shots.
All right, so, but that was Dracula. So again, thanks for everybody for tuning in tonight and enjoying us making fun of John and just supporting what we do here in Pittsburgh, streaming pinball. So on behalf of Doug, Elizabeth, John, Evan, everybody that's here in the background, we thank you for tuning in. We will be back next week, I believe, with 2 new games. I'm not sure what they are off the top of my head, but just check out the Papa page. It'll tell you exactly what they are, and we will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Take care.